Okay, this is a test of the system. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to log in as our sample user at Fantasy MF. So everyone needs to log in there, and the password is sample password. So when we get logged in, this login is already synced up to my son's teams in 2025 Sleeper. So the name of our league was Rumble Rookie League, and we're looking at 2025 only. And so we're going to just click into here, and we're going to go to League. And when we get to League, we're going to go to Week 16, because that's where the key cool things are in Week 16. And so when we get to the league, if it shows it like right here, we want to be looking at the real Slim Shady. This had CeeDee Lamb and Rashee Rice, and the team name is the real Slim Shady. So we click right on that, and we get into this team. And what we see here is our starting lineup. But then right here, we see something a little different. And that shows TreVeyon Henderson with 10.1 points. But let's first just look, because you can toggle this off. The injury-free fantasy can be toggled off. So native just means that this is Sleeper's actual thing. So for this week 16, my team scored 116.8 points. And if you look at week 16 in the playoffs on the matchup, toggled off, I actually lost by 1 point in week 16 semifinals in our league. So now we're going to toggle that on, and we're going to look at this matchup. And we're going to see down here in the matchup with it on, TreVeyon Henderson only had 1.7 points, but the automatic sub of Jawhar Jordan came in at that exact moment where he was hurt and scored 8.4 points. And then J.J. McCarthy also got hurt. And look at this. Marcus Mariota came in for a little sliver of time, got 1.1 points, and then Mariota got hurt. So then Jalen Wright was able to come in because this is a super flex spot and scored 11 more points. And you'll see down here, this shows the amount of time that they scored points, and it lets you see the quarter they scored the points in. But these points down here aren't all the points you're getting. The points you're getting are right here. It's a little easier to see it in the actual individual team. So we'll click on the individual team. We'll come down here, and we will show the subs for TreVeyon Henderson. This shows where TreVeyon Henderson only got 1.7 points and was hurt at the 7:07 mark of the second quarter. So he revealed the sub, and Jawhar Jordan went in at the 7:06 mark in his game and played at the final and got 8.4 points. So you can see from halfway through the second quarter is where you could go down here and just see, okay, well, he got some of that 3.8, and then he got the rest of these points also. So Jawhar Jordan got 8.4 points in that little time frame right there in his game. And that ended up being 137.4 fantasy points, which was enough to be a difference. When you toggle that off, and you'll see down here, you don't get the sub points. And then TreVeyon Henderson only had 1.7 points. J.J. McCarthy only had 11.4. But we go back up here, and we toggle it back on. And then we reveal the subs, and we see the sub go in the game. And again, this one is awesome because Mariota actually got hurt right after he went in this game. And then Jalen Wright came in for 11.8 points. And so, as you can see also here, this IR slot and the unassigned slot, our system's not going to know the difference in sleeper players who are on your IR that week or who just aren't on your roster anymore. So maybe like this Michael Carter was on my roster in week 14 or something like that, but wasn't on the roster by week 16. It just doesn't know. So that's what that is. And then every now and then this will need to be refreshed. You just need to come in here. It'll say the sub isn't here. And if you just refresh it, it works. And so that's that. And another iteration of what we're doing here in the league is you can look at the rankings each week in a different way. So this is against the median of the league. And so it'll update in live real time and let the median right now is the difference in the 5 and the 6 ranking, and so it's 135. So these guys are playing against the median. And so on Monday Night Football, you can just sit right here with your app open, and watch this change in real time, but we also have it where you can play against the average also, and you can see the difference versus the average or the median. Now let's say this is like week 8 or week 7 or 6 or 9, and your league has a guillotine set up. Well, then here it shows just that. So it would show just the last place finisher that week in the guillotine. Now this is not going to reset all your players into the player pool and have them redraft. It's just a score ranking. So on Monday Night Football, you can see who's going to get knocked out of the guillotine right here in week 9. And you can see it for the whole season as well. So that's just a cool thing. We also have custom playoffs that are built in our system that you can devise any way you want. But they are, in our league, we have 6 teams make week 15, and the bottom 2 get eliminated. So these 4 teams are advancing like a pool with no matchups. So if we go to week 16, we will see that we have actually 3 teams advance to the championship and only 1 doesn't advance. And you'll see right there, that's IFF scoring. So I would have advanced over this team right here, but with native scoring, I actually lost by the 1 point. And so that's how that works. And then if we go to the championship week, we'll see that it's an actual cumulative score. That's how we have it set up in our, which you can do in our back end admin tools. It's a cumulative week 15, 16, and 17 score. So that shows the cumulative score for our championship. So that Monday Night Football of week 17, my son Walt and Sean M99 were watching intently on this screen as this overtook that in the last few minutes of that week of that game. And here I sadly sat way out of it because I wasn't even in it because of the native scoring. I was gone and wasn't involved in that. But anyway, so these are just the cool free features. The IFF is the injury free, and that's how that works. And so that's all you need to know.